Hello and welcome to the All Round Coaching Podcast, episode number 11. Today I have got my client Chris with me, the number one listener, the number one fan, and he is now the special guest along with co-host Mel.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you both? Right, so obviously I'm going to ask a few questions to Chris, Mel's going to ask some questions, and obviously we want an insight into your journey, why you started, obviously why you chose me, etc. So we'll kick it off with, why did you start coaching overall?
So during COVID, I found it fairly difficult. I said difficult, you ball bag.
You could have been like that then. You pressed it too soon.
It's still going.
Oh,
Sorry.
Just this is a second take of the actual record because the first time round Chris said hard too many times, and now Claire's got a dirty brain on.
Everything was just so hard. Right, carry on.
Let's see.
So you found it a bit difficult, did you?
Yeah, I found it difficult.
Yeah.
No, so during COVID, I was just struggling to get up in the morning. Like I was only getting up at about 10, 11 o'clock. Just struggling to really motivate myself to do anything. I actually reached out to an old friend who said, like, because he's an MMA coach, and said, what can I do? I just feel like I need more energy. I spoke to the doctors. My friend came back to me and he said, you need to get yourself to the gym. And I was a bit annoyed at that answer because I thought that's not the answer that I wanted. I wanted
What answer did you want?
Yeah, I wanted an easy out. I wanted someone to say, oh, it's because you've got, I don't know.
Yeah, people self-diagnose. They'll think, oh, well, I'm tired, it must be this, so I'll take medication for this, rather than think, do you know what, I need to probably look after my health, get some sleep, get moving, get outside, and eat a little bit better.
Yeah, I was working like 8-9 hours a day, non-stop. Like majority of times, I only had one meal in the day. So
How did you cope? Like, what was you eating?
I know, I'll be
to
starved.
be honest, I was fine. I was absolutely fine. I just worked straight through because I was more addicted to actually working through the day than actually looking after my own health. So I needed something to kind of get me out of the funk that I was in.
I would say, what would your productivity be like in work and your overall quality and happiness doing what you were doing when you weren't even looking after yourself?
So the quality of work, I'd say, was still good because I put that much effort in, that much time. But what I've actually found through all of this really is that I could still produce the same amount of work and keep the quality high, but actually look after myself at the same time and feel better in myself.
Actually eat a meal.
Yeah.
And it isn't impossible, like everybody has got jobs, so I never take it is an excuse where you work 8-9 hours, even if it's 10-12 hours. Like if you want to make that time, you will, or you'll be forced to make it when it's probably less convenient. Would you agree?
Yeah, it's just stopping with the excuses as well. So I had 1,000,001 excuses that I could give you not to go to the gym. In fact, even to the day of walking in and speaking to you, I walked out and come up with 1,000,000 more excuses not to just go through with it.
Where did that come from? Like, because I think a lot of people, you're not the only person, you're not the first, and you won't be the last. Like, where does that come from? That not wanting to go to the gym? Is it the pain element that comes with lifting weights, moving your body, like, or is it just I'd rather be at home, not at the gym?
So for me, it was nothing to do with like the pain side of it because, in all honesty, that never entered my brain once. It was more the fear of, for one, going somewhere where I didn't really know what I was doing, didn't know how to use half the machines, and when I was walking around, I kind of felt like I didn't belong there.
Yeah.
Like I just felt completely out of my comfort zone, but I had to kind of push through that because I needed to get myself better, and that took priority.
Yeah, and I always admire people that you see, like, whether they're running, walking, in the gym, like, that you do kind of see, oh, they've probably not been in the gym that long, but fair play to you for starting, for getting going, like, because you're not going to walk into the gym and instantly be a meathead, like, it just doesn't work.
Yeah, I think it is intimidating walking into any gym. I find it worse in commercial, but it's like there's nobody that doesn't belong. Like if anyone's making an effort, then it is for everyone. It's just taking that first step.
So you'd done about 8 turns around in the gym, and then you decided to go and actually speak to Claire. Then obviously through your consultation, like how did you feel?
So with my consultation, because I kind of knew Claire before, I'd spoke to her a few times at work, but didn't really know her that well. So I was worried that because she knew me, she wouldn't take it seriously, or I didn't know if she was professional. I didn't know if she knew her stuff. I kind of, in fact, it kind of leads on to another topic. But when I was scrolling through Instagram, because I needed to find like a coach, and I was scrolling through. I spoke to a few different ones, didn't really find the right fit. And then I'd actually seen it. I think it was a few pictures of yourself, Kirk, and a few others. And I looked and I was like, wow, they've gone from. And don't get me wrong, it's not that they looked bad before, obviously, but that transition was huge. And I thought it made me feel like I could do it as well. It made me feel like actually, if I put the effort in, that I might actually be able to reach that level myself.
I always say anyone can get results. It's just not many people want to put that effort in or commit to it, and it is the consistency of it. Like, people like the idea of the results, but not the work that does come with it. And I think obviously with you have applied yourself and you've already seen them changes and benefited from it anyway. Yeah,
I've had to put certain things in place, like because I am one to make excuses not to do things just because if it's out of my comfort zone, I'll come up with like I said before, 1,000,001 reasons. So for example, getting up in the morning when you're tired and you can't be bothered and you think, oh God, because the only time I get to go is early mornings. So them mornings where you wake up, like my little girls kept me awake most of the night, and you get up and you think, I can't go. But then you stop with the excuses and you just pick yourself up and you go, because I know that if I make one excuse and I don't go one time, it'll just snowball and then I'll make more excuses. So I've just purposely made sure that I just stick at it.
Oh, no, it's good that, and I think when you are starting out, it is hard to get into that routine because you've been used to A, getting up a lot later, and B, probably building habits that maybe I don't want to say good and bad, but didn't benefit you. So then obviously flipping that, well, I'll always say to someone, if you commit to at least 3 months, then habits are going to start and get ingrained, and then it'll never get easier, but it feels more natural.
It's the opposite now. I actually look forward to it. So the days that I don't train, I feel like I want to be back in the gym. So as soon as I get up in the morning and I've worked out and I come home and I start work, I feel more awake. I feel just more energised. I just feel so much better than I do on the days where I don't work out.
No, I love that.
Yeah, it's a good mindset shift, especially because I think we were in the we spoke in the gym, didn't we? We were in a very similar vein where it almost becomes a chore at the beginning, doesn't it? Is that I've got to get 2 sessions, I've got to get 3 sessions, and then before you know it, that snowball starts rolling down the hill, and then you can't get enough of it then, which is where you are as well.
Yeah, the first month I think is more sheer panic. It was for me because, again, feeling out of my comfort zone and actually going in and like you showed me obviously how to use some of the machines and making sure that I was doing it right, and wasn't really thinking about my form or anything like that. It was just working through and trying to survive the session and getting home. And then after the first month and you're more comfortable, you then start to enjoy it. Your energy levels are picked up, and then a couple of months down the line you start correcting your own form and Claire will give you feedback and stuff like that. So it's 100% been worth it for me. It's changed. And this is why I'm a big proponent of what you do, because it has changed my life over the last 6 months. It's huge.
Oh, I love that. Well, we'll move on to why did you come to me? I'm glad I've changed your life in such a positive way.
But you were saying that you obviously looked at a few different. Were you looking at Instagram? Were you looking at where was you? What? So obviously, for someone to go right, I need a coach. Or did you go? I need a coach. Did you go? I need a PT. Like, what was you?
I did not know the difference between the two. I just know that Claire shouts at me if I call her a PT.
Yeah.
So I just knew I needed something. So I looked at mixed martial arts classes. I'd looked at personal trainers, coaches. I'd basically been scouring the internet, but I just didn't have. Once I'd reached out to one, I kind of thought, right, okay, that wasn't for me, but I'm going to keep going. And then I was just scrolling through Instagram, and I'd seen, like I said, a few of the pictures that you put up of before and afters of people.
Yeah.
And it just made me realise that actually anyone can do it. You've just got to be willing to be consistent and apply yourself and not make excuses. And that's when it kind of changed me. I thought I've got to do something for the benefit of not just me, for obviously my fiance, for my 2 kids. I just needed to get out there and do something.
No, it's good that, and I think it's good that you've actually explored other coaches and PTs, because I do believe that each coach is obviously different, or PT is different, and finding a coach that's obviously going to work well with you and in line with your goals, because not every coach is an expert in every field. So obviously I am more transformation physique, a little bit of mindset and focus on the nutrition. So for me, you go into an MMA coach wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, it was just more, I just felt like I needed to change my life and I didn't know which way to do it.
Yeah.
So it's one of them that reaching out to a few different people and speaking to yourself. And then during that consultation, I actually realised you knew what you was talking about. You was professional, still daft, but yeah, you knew what you was talking about, and I think that was where when I walked out, I was like, oh yeah, I definitely want to do this. So I think I had agreed with you before I'd even left. I didn't even think about it. I was just like, yeah. It feels right.
No, it's good that, because it's never a salesy consultation. I'll always let the client decide, or I'll decide if they are ready for that next step. And I did feel like you were ready for that change and you wanted to commit, like you were quite eager.
Yeah, definitely. And it's one of them, if not just for myself, but Beth is constantly saying how much more like, energy I've got, how much more like I'm just more alert and just got that drive back, that I actually feel better now in my 40s than I did in my 30s, which is crazy to say.
Oh, that's amazing. You're not done bad, have you?
No.
Not a good coach. So, I think, was it one of your friends that was a male PT questioned why you had a female coach? Does that make a difference to you?
Yeah, it was. I mean, it makes no difference whatsoever. If someone's got knowledge and experience, then I'm want to learn off them person. It doesn't matter if they're male or female to me.
Yeah, so gender doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, it's
Clearly not.
yeah, it was just one of them that after the comments that was made, it was almost like, why have you got a female coach? But at that point, I'd already started to feel the difference, and actually, I said to him straight away, I was like, she's brilliant. I said, it's actually working. Like, I almost felt the need to defend you, because for him to say that, it almost made it sound like you was inferior, when in fact, it's the complete opposite.
Yeah, it's just that stereotype, isn't it, that you just assume that female coaches work better with females and male coaches work better with males because of the anatomy, but that's not the case, is it?
No, generally I do work better with men, like transformation-wise, and obviously there's not the whole emotional hormonal aspect to take into consideration, so my niche, like obviously my clients are kind of 50-50. I have 50% men, 50% women, but generally I do prefer men in coaching.
Because they're not according to your last podcast.
Yeah.
But no, like I do, it annoys me. It is I'm not going to say a trigger, but knowledge is knowledge. Like it doesn't matter what gender is, and obviously I pride myself on educating further and investing in myself, not, oh, I'm a female, don't know what I'm doing. But my training probably does attract more men because I don't train probably like the average female or look like the average female. And I've brought Mel along to look like a fucking unit as well. Would you agree?
Yeah.
And just moving on to the next point that I wanted to cover with Chris, how are you actually finding the whole coaching aspect, your journey? How is it going?
I love it. I've found it hard some days because I've learned not to punish myself, because sometimes you'll go to the gym, you won't lift as much as you thought you could lift, or an exercise or something will go wrong that you thought you could do completely blindfolded, but you kind of learn not to punish yourself, and you just progress, you kind of move forward, and the next session is generally better. You just work through it essentially. But I absolutely love it. Yeah, I feeling a million times better. I'm feeling more confident. I mean, me and you had a conversation about the first day that I walked in, and I was hunched over. I just looked like I didn't know what I was doing, if I'm honest. But I just felt like and looked like I didn't belong there. I just had my head down, didn't talk to anyone, didn't make eye contact. And then the last time me and you had a conversation, I was just walking through, not a care in the world, just in my own little zone.
Yeah, you look like you're not on the place, but you look like you're really comfortable, and like it's nice when someone's beaming. I think we've seen it a few times with not just yourself, but with like a few of other Claire's clients, where you can see the confidence just radiating out of people. And I think we talked about in the last podcast about the group as well, in terms of everyone kind of chimes in, and that sense of community and that sense of people, you know, we're really solid actually. We went out for a meal a couple of months ago, and it's just a really good group of people. Unfortunately you weren't there.
Yeah, Chris didn't come, he didn't bother. But no, I love that, and it just, I don't know, it is a nice feeling. Like I'll always say, no matter how many clients I've had, it still feels as exciting on each journey that everyone takes, because no two journeys are the same. And obviously I think people think, oh, I'll do it for 12 weeks and then I'll just jimmy off because I've got a nutrition and I've got a training plan, so I know what I'm doing. But I think you'd probably say it takes more than that.
Yeah, 100%. I don't think you ever stop learning. I'll fully admit, I think I said it to you at the very beginning, that my plan was to do about 3 months, and then when I know everything, stop and just keep going to the gym, and I would know everything by then. But it's not true, and it's not just about knowing. It's about having that accountability. Like, it's about showing up, having the feedback from yourself, and correcting things when I'm doing things wrong. Because every now and again you'll still pull me up on something like, actually you need to do X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
So I don't think you ever stop learning with it, and it's something that again originally I thought was going to be about a 3-month thing, and now I don't see an end date. I want to continue it as long as I can.
No, I love that, because there isn't actually an end goal. It's always a continuous journey, because your health isn't just going to say, do you know what, I've got this, so I'm going to maintain it forever. You have to keep continuing. So it's good that you actually accept that, and I think you're probably similar. Like, it's kind of for life.
Yeah, you just want to keep getting better, don't you? Because now you said yourself, like, you're a better version of where you were this time last year. Like, how long have you been with Claire for now?
But 5-6 months, I think.
Yeah, I mean that's mega. So there's still like loads of progression to kind of still go, isn't there? So if you feel better now, imagine how much you're going to feel next month, the month after that, and then it just keeps going. But I know we talked about obviously like your brothers are not in that kind of headspace where you are now. Like, I think you almost become that person, don't you? That you kind of hate when you're not going to the gym, but it's hard to then not, when you're almost on the other side of it, you see that other people not quite in that space. You're like, I need you to come on this journey with me, because believe me, it's worth it.
Yeah, it's how much better you feel from it. Like, just waking up in the morning, like I'm straight out to bed. I'm first one up, wide awake, I'm just got so much more energy. So when you see other people that are struggling, it's like you just want to reach out and go, right, come on, I promise you, if you just stick with this, it makes you feel so much better. And don't get me wrong, one of my brothers, he basically he's got certain circumstances where he can't actually get to the gym. My other brother has promised me that he's coming this Saturday, so we'll see.
Oh,
We'll
that'd
see.
be nice to see.
Yeah.
We'll be there to watch.
Yeah.
Or help, actually. Not just watch from afar.
Binoculars out.
Watch them struggle. No, but I love that, and I love that it's now a lifestyle. And I think if you can obviously I help you, and then you can help someone else, like, it just has that domino effect. Because I'll preach this: you are a product of the environment. So obviously you're teaching your kids what health looks like and what looking after yourself looks like.
And I just, like, obviously we've talked quite a lot about actually getting into the gym and more of the weight side of things, but when I've spoke to Claire before, it's in my head there's the threefold element. It's obviously the movement outside of the gym, the gym itself, and the nutrition. I still kind of struggle with the nutrition. I think I've got a level head on it now. Like, how have you found it?
So the hardest thing for me, the nutrition I was fine with, because I actually really like eating, and I'm actually having 3 meals a day, which is,
Shocking.
like I said before, I just used to have the one. So for me, I absolutely love the nutrition side of it. The outside of the gym is the one that I struggle with the most, because trying to get the steps in and things like that. Whereas again, you've just got to stop making excuses. So this is what last night I wanted to make sure I got all my steps in for the week.
Okay.
So I was literally went for a big walk, and when I got back I realised that I'd not reached it. So I was like, right, I'm going back out. So I went back out for a walk, for another walk, to make sure I got them in. But yeah, it is a complete lifestyle change, but it's definitely for the better. You feel so much better in yourself. You feel so much body confidence as well. Like, I know, again, we had that conversation. Like, I'm still at the beginning of my journey, but I'm already feeling a lot better.
Yeah, your actual posture changes. Like, it's madness, because people do walk around like the Hunchback of Notre Dame, don't they? When, like, they're not confident in themselves, and then you can see the face lights up and they're glowing a little bit when they're actually feeling a little bit more confident. And it's really nice to see, because then that snowballs into the clothes that you put on, and the transformation goes beyond the gym gear. It goes into your work life, it goes into your home life. Like, obviously, I don't know how your kids have responded to you, obviously training a little bit more. That's got to be mega, in terms of obviously being able to go and actually do more activities with them, I imagine.
Yeah, I think both my kids have definitely benefited from it. So it's, well, my eldest daughter absolutely hates that I keep taking her on walks.
Oh, really?
She's absolutely right, if I'm honest. But no, I think they both have definitely seen the benefit from it, because, like I said, I'm up before them. I'm more alert, more awake, and doing a lot more things with them. So rather than just stay in the house because I'm tired, I'm worn out from work the previous day, I'm actually going, come on, get your coats, we're going out and we'll go do different things. So.
And you're now that really inspirational role model for them now. Like, I find it mad, not mad, but I find it amazing when you see kids then start taking up the fitness side of things when they're a little bit younger. Hopefully, obviously, you're setting that example for them from an early start.
Yeah, my eldest has already said that she wants to come to the gym with me, and my youngest actually helps me work out. So every now and again, I'll do things at home, and she joins in. And anytime I'm eating anything with protein, right, we talk about it. And she's always pinching me food, so I always tell her about like protein and different things like that. And she's only 3. That one. She's the terror of that one.
She's eating your chicken. That's what she's doing.
Oh, that's good. That nice little positive environment, and just not enforcing it on your kids, but leading them up with that lifestyle.
Well, I certainly grew up like, and this isn't any kind of criticism of my mum and dad, because obviously you just do what you can as a parent, don't you, to get through sometimes. But I was growing up on like chicken turkey twizzlers and chicken drumsticks. Yeah. Let's be honest, the beige party food, but yeah, not necessarily a healthier diet. It could have been healthier. But yeah, when obviously you're kind of showing your kids that this is the kinds of food that it's not a health food, it's just food.
Yeah. Nutrition quality plays a role, because I don't think any of us grew up in that environment where health was a massive factor. I don't think I'm not going to say it didn't matter back then, but it wasn't highlighted like health was. It was just eat spaghetti on toast like your council estate teas and stuff. So
yeah, which is still good, but
I didn't grow up in a healthy environment, but I've turned out like okay, and now I get to help people do that as well.
We had a pot man. The pot man that used to come around and just give you big bottles of sugar.
But it tasted of every flavour.
Yeah.
I love the grape. Oh, no. So I want to wrap this up with probably a question that I think you may have already answered, but what makes you continue, not just with me, but the journey overall?
So the main reason was I wanted to be better for my kids. That was one of the main reasons that I wanted, because my 40th birthday was coming up, you do start thinking about, shit, I'm getting old here.
Getting on the hill.
Because I remember my dad's 40th, and I realised back then I used to think 40's old. No, like, shit, I'm 40. So I wanted to make sure that I just wasn't going to whittle away into a little old man. So that's I wanted to make sure that like I'm still active and full of energy for the kids, but also a bit of probably not being vain, but I wanted to look better for Beth as well. Yeah. I wanted to, like, if we're going on holiday and we're on a beach, I didn't want to be in a shirt because I don't want to take my top off or anything like that, because I was very body conscious, whereas now, don't get me wrong, like I said, I'm still very early in my journey, but I do feel a lot more confident.
Yeah, no, it's good then. I don't think there should be any embarrassment or stigma behind improving your body, because obviously we've got this diet culture at the minute where if you want to look good or look better, everyone's saying, oh, it's not about that, it's about what's inside. But obviously, if you're already working on your health anyway, aesthetically you are going to change as a byproduct, and I don't think that's anything bad. Like, I like to look better and look sexier, don't we all?
Yeah. Well, I tried a lot of diets. I tried going to the gym, just doing my own thing, and I stuck to things like cardio. You pointed it out on the very first day. You said to me, when you go to the gym, is it mainly the cardio stuff that you do? And I said, yeah. And you went, it's because you know what you're doing on, like the treadmill. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, 100%. So you knew kind of where my mindset was. And I think that's the mindset of a lot of people, that they go to the gym, they stick to what they know because they're comfortable with it, and then leave. And I was wondering why I wasn't getting the results that I wanted, but it's because you don't piece everything together.
No.
Yeah, you need someone to have that holistic view of and understanding and knowledge to go, right, well, here's your goal and here's how we'll help you kind of achieve it. Because I imagine you've got an idea in your mind of what you want to look like or how you want to feel, and I imagine that's what you would have discussed in the consultation. Yeah,
it's changed though, in all honesty. Like, I had one goal, and once I've reached that, don't get me wrong, I'm happy with the journey, and I'll be happy once I reach that goal. But then my goal's actually going to change, because I already know like what I want to basically put in place. So obviously I'll have that conversation with Claire at a different time, but your goals do tend to change, especially when you start seeing the results and you're like, oh my god, this is actually working. Because for me it was always like a pipe dream that somebody else would do. Yeah. Like one of my friends, his transformation was amazing. He was quite a big lad, and he went through this transformation. He looks absolutely amazing, and he used to make me laugh because he was posting about the gym all the time, and people would comment, "Bloody hell, Steve, like, you need to calm down." And I thought, no, he's done. He's worked hard. He's worked amazing. Good on him. Good on him.
Yeah, it's more socially accepted to post like going out getting pissed, isn't it? Like people don't blink an eye at that, but as soon as you say you're in the gym, it's like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's one of them. Like it was always like for me, it was never attainable. It was never. It's not something that I could achieve because it was for other people.
Because it takes a lot of time, though, that isn't it?
Yeah.
It looks like it happens overnight, but in actual fact, it takes days, sometimes hours. Some days it feels like just to get through the day. Like when you're actually, whether when you feel like you want to just binge on some chicken nuggets,
Have some nugs and watch Netflix.
yeah.
But them days that are the hardest, where you pick yourself out of bed, you go to the gym, are generally the days that you feel the best because you come away from the gym and you think, oh my God, that was an hard session, and you just feel better for it. You feel like you're radiating.
Yeah,
like,
nobody
for the rest
ever
of the day.
regrets a workout. Like you always feel better for it. Even the like you say, the days that are fucking hardest, like you just feel amazing after it.
Yeah, definitely.
And having that momentum keep going as well, like once you've hit those, like I think you must have started on 3 sessions a week. Like for me anyway, I started on 3, and then there's some months I could only hit 2 because I was doing a house renovation, and that was my excuse, whether it was obviously right or wrong. Claire's giving me the eye. But then it got to a point where I was hitting, I think for me anyway, with January, it just turned a corner, and I was hitting 3 a week, and I haven't missed a beat since. So obviously we'd gone out for drinks on Saturday, and I was like, I'm not missing a session. I'm hitting my 4 this week, like, and I don't care whether it's a shit session or not. I'm getting in and I'm doing it, and I felt good for it afterwards.
I think you picked up on something there as well, and it's something that I didn't know before, obviously, starting was, you think that when you've got a coach or when you go into the gym that you can't enjoy life, like anything outside of the gym, like drinking, you can't do, you can't eat what you want. You've just got to be sensible with it, and like you say, everything in moderation.
Yeah, I find it bananas. Like I've spoke to a few people recently, and like you can just live still. Like it's not a diet. It's not going to the gym. It's just it's a way of life. Like, and you sound like you're preaching to the converted sometimes. But I find it bananas when people are going, oh, I'm only having so many calories a day, or I'm only going to do this, or I'm just going to smash it for forever, however long, and then I'm going to stop. Like just don't. Like it's madness in my eyes.
I think if people slowed it down, because everyone does, they slash the calories, they run themselves into the ground, and they burn themselves out because they've made it that hard to stick to, rather than start a little bit slower, somewhat more sustainable that they can continue. They all just think, oh, suffering, restriction, and then come the weekends they can't maintain it, and that's when they fall off and they don't know what they're doing. And obviously that's where a coach would come in.
So how did you feel? Obviously we've talked quite a few times on the podcast, I'm sure you know, about that magic 3 months. Like how did you feel at that 3 month period? Like did you feel like, okay, I feel like feel good in the gym, I feel like I know roughly what I want to eat, like, or I still want to work on that, or did you feel like you'd kind of got it sussed?
Definitely not got it sussed. I still don't. There's still things that I need to improve on. But the first month is sheer panic and hell, because you're trying to figure stuff out, not look like an absolute idiot, and kind of get through the session. You're just trying to survive, if I'm honest.
Yeah, not
because,
look like it.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. But one thing that I realised in the first month was that nobody cares. Nobody is looking at you. Everyone is just trying to do the session, think about what like they're doing next, and just trying to get through. So if anyone's listening that is self-conscious and stuff like this, like don't be, because just get yourself to the gym, and people are just, like I said, focusing on themselves. Everyone's working hard and too tired to be worried about if you're doing something wrong. So
well, most people have got their headphones in, so they can't hear you grunting or out of breath. I've got a cap on when I go. I've got my blinkers on. Like I don't want to look at anybody, because like just in case they think that I'm looking at them. So like I think you said the same to me. To be fair, so just no one's looking at you.
Nobody.
Right.
They're all doing their own thing, and often they're all wrapped up in themselves anyway. Like nobody's gonna walk in and judge you. More often than not, if they see you struggling, they might help you. But that's
everyone's been brilliant. I've not met anyone in the gym that I thought, what a moron. So yeah, everyone's been really, really nice and really kind. So yeah, all that fear that I had of actually stepping into a gym, and now it's just second nature to me. I prefer actually being in the gym, and as much as I possibly can, to be honest.
No, I think that's a product of your environment, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like we talked about in the last podcast episode, where I mean, it took me a while. I'd done like DW gyms, I'd done like health and leisure gyms, I'd done a few different types, and I'm at one now where I feel comfortable, like, and it does help when you know all the equipment and stuff, but I'd feel comfortable in that environment where I'm like, that's where I want to be. Like, I want to spend my Saturday and Sunday mornings there.
Oh.
Sometimes I'll come back from the gym, I'll work, and then I'll finish work and I'll go,
Yeah, I want to go.
I want to go back to the gym.
Yeah, it's
but,
mad.
Yeah, it's weird, but the first month, like I said, was sheer panic. Second month, you start getting more confident, you start actually taking, because the first month, Chloe would tell me something, it would not sink in. I was panicking about what I was going to do next. So the second month, you start taking more in and you start kind of correcting yourself. The third month, you get that confidence and you feel better for it, like you just feel more, you have that energy and that drive, and then after that, like I said, playing selling.
Month 4, you get your 90 Metcons, and then you can...
The Metcons changed everything for everyone.
It changed my life.
You're lifting better now, though, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to kill me today, though.
Yeah. What's your favourite kind of, I suppose, like naturally people have got the favourite piece of equipment or the favourite movement. What's yours?
Favourite movement? Probably leaving the gym, I reckon. I'm only joking. No, to be honest, I've got a favourite session.
Yeah.
So I'll always try and sneak 2 of them in, if I can do. But no, I just genuinely, I've got, like I said, I've got my headphones on, or I'm listening to podcasts, or I'm just in my own little world, and I just, like I said, just love working out. And I never in my entire life thought I would be someone to say that. And as cheesy as it sounds, it's actually true. I do actually enjoy going to the gym.
And if there was anybody that was kind of almost half on the edge, the do I don't I, do I get a coach, do I not get a coach, what would you kind of say to them?
Get the right coach.
Yeah.
So for me, Chloe was the right coach, not to give you a big head, but she genuinely was. And like I said, for me, it was something that I thought I was going to do just until the wedding, and then I was going to, at first it was 3 months, then it was, I'll just do it till the wedding. But now it's actually, well, I can't see an end to it. I cannot see an end. So.
Oh, I love that. So if anyone wants to, before I do coaching though, it isn't just sign people up. Like, I will do a consultation and I'll make sure you're right for me and I'm right for you, and make sure obviously your investment does have a return, and I think yours has and continues to. So we will leave it there. We will wrap it up.
I think this is the least amount you've spoken at any episode.
Oh, it was nice to listen to all the compliments, to be fair. But no, like, obviously you guys have and continue to be amazing clients, and obviously an amazing partner now. But no, like, it is amazing to watch people's journeys grow and obviously see them unravel, and I'm very happy and proud of you both. So thank you for coming on, Chris. You can listen to yourself tomorrow. Our number 1 listener.
This is the only podcast I'm not listening to.
But no, thank you for coming on, and we will be back next week with episode number 12. You always said get past how many?
I don't know.
Well, we got past 1, so that,
That was a start.
I think that's a success. So thank you for listening, and we will be back next week.